Guyanese-born Jessica and Eric Huntley were political activists and came to England in the late 1950s amongst many other post-war Caribbean migrants seeking new opportunities in Britain. British Guyana would become Guyana after independence in 1966. The Huntleys were keen supporters of the Caribbean artist movement that was co-founded in 1966 by John LaRose, Kwame Braithwaite and Andrew Solke as a platform for Caribbean artists, writers, actors and musicians settling in the UK. The Huntleys would establish Bogle Louverture Publications in 1969, and later the bookshop in West Ealing was eventually renamed the Walter Rodney Bookshop. No Colour Bar was a banner slogan for international struggles against racism and systems and practices based on race that began in the 20th century with the Civil Rights Movement in North America, anti-apartheid in South Africa, and anti-racism in the UK, and continues today. No Colour Bar, Black British Art in Action 1960 to 1990 was an exhibition at the Guildhall Art Gallery from July 2015 to January 2016. No Colour Bar brought together some extraordinary and rarely exhibited material from the Huntley Archives, which is deposited at the London Metropolitan Archives, that is managed by the Friends of the Huntley Archives at LMA, Falmouth. The exhibition also included artwork from a number of institutions and private collections, and a range of unpublished material. No Colour Bar was a comprehensive overview of Black British art with the work of artists and cultural practitioners who were inside and outside of the Huntleys' immediate circle. No Colour Bar was structured into 4 themes in different spaces in the gallery. Open Arms includes the work of Black artists who embraced a new internationalism through solidarity, collaboration and creativity. The exhibition opens with 3 sculptures by George Farrakhan Kelly. This space featured archive materials such as posters, greeting cards, and book cover artwork by Errol Lloyd, correspondence, flyers, and photographs that demonstrated the Huntleys' cultural and political activism, and that informed the creation of the Walter Rodney Bookshop and Bogle Louverture Publications. Meanwhile, the Elbow Room displayed the work of Black artists and cultural practitioners created in Britain. Broad Shoulders reflected how these practices engaged with strong yet brave struggles against oppression and injustice. Together, these 3 spaces featured the work of various artists from the African diaspora, such as Winston Branch, Paul Dash, Aubrey Williams, Frank Bolin, Uzo Ngunu, Kofi Kayenga, John Lyons, Errol Lloyd, and Emmanuel Taiwo Jegede. At the centre of the fourth space, Clenched Fist, was an installation of the Walter Rodney Bookshop. Above the installation was a banner designed from the actual shopfront of the bookshop in Chignall Place, as well as a display of books and artifacts. Along the walls were mounted framed archive photographs of the Huntleys and photographic wallpaper of New Beacon Bookshop's bookshelves. Archive materials could be accessed via 2 interactive touchscreens and 2 photo frames based on 4 narrative themes. From Front Room to Frontline, Bogle Overture Publications, Race, Revolts and Resistance, Britain in the 1970s and 1980s, A Day in the Life of Bogle Overture Bookshop, and the International Book Fair of Radical Black and Third World Books. On a central table was a map of London that identified where various black and independent bookshops, arts and community organisations, publishers and venues were located. Also on the table was a collection of laminated archive documents, correspondence, leaflets, brochures and press clippings that visitors could browse through. At the back of the installation was a small table, an electric typewriter, a dial telephone, a Rolodex address card holder, and a radio cassette. And housed in the bookshelves built into the installation were also books donated by Bogle Overture Press, New Beacon Books, Hansip Publications, and People Tree Press that visitors could also read. Projected onto a large screen above the installation were archive photographs from the Huntley archives. In the background could be heard an audio loop of Alex Pascal interviewing Dr. Walter Rodney on BBC Black Londoners Radio. Poetry readings from the Evening of International Poetry at the first International Book Fair of Radical Black and Third World Books. On the walls surrounding the installation was mounted the work of black artists who were either born or grew up in the UK, such as Keith Piper, Sonia Boyce, Tam Joseph, Denzel Forrester, and Claudette Johnson. In an adjoining smaller space, there were works by Lubaina Himid, Eddie Chambers, Sakari Douglas Camp, Ronald Moody, and Chila Kumari Burman. And in a lower ground space, there were further works by Denzel Forrester and Keith Piper. On the mezzanine level, one work by Chila Kumari Burman provided an intervention to the Guildhall Art Gallery's permanent collection. No Colour Bar held an extensive public programme that included artist forums, poetry readings, curators' talks, family workshops, and events with Eric Huntley and other pioneer publishers like Sarah White from New Beacon Books and Arif Ali from Hansib Publications.